Several of you wanted me to check this out. Dr. Phil joins the ice raids. Well, let's check this out. Dr. Phil on ice raids.
Riding along on one of those ice raids, as we saw there in Chicago, was Dr. Phil McGraw, the TV host embedded with U.S. immigration enforcement officers during an operation in Chicago on Sunday, defending President Donald Trump's deportation effort. Here's a clip of one of those arrests carried out with the Trump administration border czar Tom Homan.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of.
Guy.
He's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like this walking the street rather than law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really?
All right, and with that, Dr. Phil McGraw joins
man.
Top Story once again. He's the host of Dr. Phil Primetime on Merit TV. Dr. Phil, it's great to see you again. So, Dr. Phil, I'm going to ask you this very plainly, right? Everyone knows who you are. You're a psychologist, Hall of Fame broadcaster, you're a celebrity. What exactly were you doing there this weekend on those raids?
Well, Tom, thanks for having me again. It's good to see you again. This is something that I deal with what people are interested in and how it's impacting
Got that glamour lighting on him. That glamour filter.
their lives. And
the smooth out
audience
filter
is very interested in these immigration laws and what's happening. It was one of the top issues on people's minds culturally and what's impacting their family.
True.
And we talk about the things that people are interested in on Merit TV. And what we want to do is show them with full transparency what's actually happening. And, there's been a lot of talk out there about sweeping through neighborhoods, just picking up people indiscriminately, and I wanted to see if that was happening. Part of my embedding within this group was to ask Tom Homan the hard questions. I asked him, are you just sweeping through neighborhoods and picking up people that are here illegally? And he said, no, that's not our intention. We have our plan right now is worst first. We're going after those that have the worst criminal records first.
You did say that. But if you happen to be illegal and hanging with the person that also is a criminal, well, we just got a 2-for-1 sale.
And this is a surgical, tactical plan to go in and get those people. And sanctuary cities are not letting them know when they have these people in custody so they can come to the jail and pick them up. And what's happening with sanctuary cities is they're creating that which they want the least, and that is they're causing these agents, as Gabe was talking about, to go into the communities and arrest these people on the job or in their neighborhoods. And when they go in to get someone that's a violent criminal, whoever's with them, they're going to find out who those people are, and they may wind up arresting them as well, because when they run into someone that is in the country illegally, they are going to detain them and move them for deportation. That's not going to happen if they'll let them know when these people are in jail and being released back into the community.
Yeah.
You hear that, sanctuary cities? Start letting ICE know when you got them. Start letting them know when you got them.
Pick them up right there.
Dr. Phil, from what you saw, were these undocumented immigrants being treated humanely?
Looks like it.
Absolutely. I was there at 4 a.m. when they had the debriefing. This was a multi-agency meeting with ICE, DEA, ATF, FBI, U.S. Marshals. And their number one concern was the safety of their agents, of all the people in the community, and of the people that they were targeting. Even though they're criminals, they were very concerned with their safety and getting them detained out of the community and into custody safely. They said, let's make sure everybody gets home safely today.
Dr. Phil, so you heard Gabe's reporting there, my conversation with him. Of the, nearly 1,200 people arrested on Sunday, nearly half of those people weren't considered people with criminal records, right? Their offense was that they were here illegally. You just said you were told the worst first. It appears, at least on this day, that's not exactly what happened. Again, as Gabe pointed out, it's very complex. But does it sow doubt now with Americans and maybe with the world that it is going to be a roundup? It's not just the worst first, it's whoever they can grab. Is that your sense?
No, I'm telling you as an American, no. Because apparently he's just asking that question to ask it. Because you saw, they already said what they were doing. The worst first. But if you happen to be with them, well, you're legal too. So come on. No, come on. The worst first, which means that there's going to be a second and there's going to be a third. Get it? So the criminals first, the violent criminals first, then the rest. They're going to have to work something out. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking just from their vernacular, the words that they have used, they are going to work something out if they are here illegally, but they don't cause any problems and they're productive in society. That's what I'm thinking. They might not, but just the way everything has been said, I think they're going to work something out with them.
Absolutely not. But let me tell you, they're in the country illegally, and Tom Homan's intention is, if you're in the country illegally, you need to self-deport. Because
let me tell you something. Yeah, self-deport. Let me tell you something. I am big on accountability, and like certain times I've been in certain situations. Sometimes been relationships. Stuff like that, and or other situations, and I'm just like, the majority of the negative things that happen to you in life are your fault. A lot of people like to play the blame game, point the finger, play the victim. The majority of the time, you are at fault. You saw a red flag in somebody, in a situation. You were hanging with people you knew got into crazy-ish. A shootout starts, you get shot in the leg. I didn't do nothing, it's my fault. It's not my fault, I'm a victim. You knew these dudes got rowdy. You know stuff pops off. But you chose to hang with them. Go to their house. Go to the club with them. Drink with them. You know what I'm saying? You chose to get with the chick that said I'm kind of obsessive sometimes about my boyfriend. Okay. Then when you broke up and she's stalking you, if she's issuing violent threats, she's trying to destroy your life, she already told you. The red flag was there. Whose fault is it? Yours. You're the one that got with her after she told you she was obsessive about her boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? Accountability.
If they catch you in the country illegally, you could be barred for coming back into the country for a number of years. And if they're forced into the community to arrest these people, they are going to check everyone that's with them at the time.
So self-deport, do it right and come back. Because if you're deported, you could be banned from trying to come in for a number of years. There it is, folks. Self-deport. Figure it out. Make a way. You made a way to get up here. Make a way to get back.
And that's going to mean more people are arrested sooner and taken out of the country before they have an opportunity to leave voluntarily and then apply to come back in. So I'm not surprised that there are people that are being arrested, detained, and processed for deportation that are not violent criminals, because they're being forced into the community to arrest these people that they could be picking up in jail and not encountering those people that aren't violent criminals.
Last question here, Dr. Phil.
In the country illegally.
Last question for you. Let's combine your psychology and the politics, if you will. Will President Trump, because the polls have showed that a majority of people do want undocumented immigrants to be deported, right? The polling is on his side. But if they start deporting the people who are here and here illegally but not committing crimes, and they separate families, or they're taking people out who have children.
He said that they are going to deport them together. So stop saying that.
Who may be born in this country, are considered Americans. Will Trump sort of lose the country, or at least the people who are favoring deporting the people right now, if they start to see those images?
Look, I don't think anybody wants to see families fragmented. And I know there are people that have been...
Families get fragmented all the time when people commit crime. That rhyme, don't need to play the game. Bars all the time in America. All the time. If you're a drug dealer, you get caught. If you're a murderer and you get caught. If it's DUI, you get caught. All right, prostitution, you get caught. All right, burglary, you get caught. Okay? When the cops come to get you, if you have children, you're separated. That's how it goes. Stop trying to spin it like, oh my God, families are being... It's a shame that the children have to go through this. But this is what happens when you are committing crimes. So guess what? You don't want your families to be separated. You don't want your children to go through trauma. Don't commit crimes. There we go.
Been here a long time. They've done a good job. They're paying taxes. They're contributing. And I think there is some legislation afoot that I'm...
How do you pay taxes if you're illegal? Someone help me out with that. Wouldn't you have to be documented in some form to pay taxes? You know what I'm saying? Like, whether they have fake socials? Like, what, how do they pay taxes if they're illegal? That's what I want to know. Because I was always under the impression that illegals worked under the table. So they got paid in cash, or they had fake IDs, fake paperwork. You get what I'm saying?
Beginning to hear about where people could have an opportunity to get work permits and to, if they self-deport, to come back in under visas and things of that nature, where they could have a way to be here and find a path back to the United States. And everybody wants that. You know, Tom, I'm very pro-immigration. We need immigrants in this country. We need them for the workforce. We need their talents, their skills, their abilities. We need so many things that immigrants bring. Our birth rate...
I'll tell you this, a lot of immigrants are very hardworking. I'll tell you this, I can remember, growing up, I didn't see many immigrants as far as like what you would think of in America over here. Like, I didn't see a lot of Mexicans with South Americans. Like, we had an Indian family that ran a we called it the paper store. They made hoagies, they had candy, they sold newspapers. They had other things, bread, water, juice, everything else you could get there. It's a small convenience store, basically. There's a girl that was Mexican that started going to school with me. I forgot, in like 5th or 4th grade, maybe 6th grade or something like that. I don't even know if they were immigrants. I just knew she was Mexican. So you see what I'm saying here? Like, we didn't see too many. It was just black people, white people, and we had Puerto Ricans in the area. Okay? So when I started to get older, I started to hear the whole that Mexicans were lazy type of thing. And by the time I started to see them, which was years later, I'm like, they're the hardest working people on the planet. What are you talking about? They are some of the hardest working people I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, I'll never forget this, okay? Because I'd always seen the landscaping thing and seen how good they were with that. But I'll never forget, I was selling cars and I went on break. And there was this McDonald's down the street that ended up hiring only Mexicans to run the store. When I tell you, I ordered my food. When I pulled up to the window, the food was ready. Right there. Hot, fresh, made like the commercial. I was like, oh my God. Mexicans are a gift from God. Oh my God. This is what McDonald's says the service is supposed to be like. And I've never experienced this before. Hot, fresh, made like the commercial, and fast. Oh my God. So, let me tell you something. I have never been bigoted against anyone, and I never will be, because there are good people in every single ethnicity and race and bad people in every single one. Okay, we all got our good, we all got our bad, we all got our strengths and our weaknesses, boy. I tell you, man, I don't know where that whole lazy Mexican stereotype came from. Where did it come from? The siesta? Taking a nap in the middle of the day or whatever? Like, where did that come from? Someone help me out, please.
Rate is too low. We need immigration in this country. We're a country of immigrants. So I think there's got to be a way to work this out. And look, our immigration system is broken. When it takes 7 years to get an immigration hearing where you can get into the country properly, somebody's got to fix that system. So I think there have to be some things where we look for.
Is it up to 7 years, or is it always 7 years minimum? Let me know about that. Yeah, well, it'd have been me. I'd been like, okay, as soon as I figured it out that I wanted to go to America, I apply. There is no coming over in some truck illegally. No, I am coming legally. Do it the right way.
Solutions, not just getting people out of the country, but finding a way to get them back into the country.
Dr. Phil, always a pleasure to talk to you here on Top Story. We thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Tom. Good night.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and...
All right. It was pretty good. I'm glad you guys asked me to watch that. I'm very glad. All right, folks. If you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video. 10 million subscribers. Woo! Hey, I'm Dr. Phil here, and I've got Tyrone, Magnus. I've done an evaluation on you, and I figured it out. You are fully sane. You have clean bill of health from me, Dr. Phil.